Silly me. Had my mic muted the whole time. What a goofball I am. Thank you very much. I try. I try to do a good job. This looks new? It is new. As you can see. Also, good morning, Powerless. Or good evening. It's a mech with like 4 arms. I need to bring up my reference for this because I see it right now. There's some bits where I've just left it bare because it's like, oh, future me will know what to do. However, future me left it bare. Or not future me, past me left it bare, and future me forgot to look. Or wait, no, present me. Not past me. What? Anyway. I'm gonna stop before I confuse myself any further. Unfortunate, true, but hey. Stopping by for a little hello. Nice. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. I hope your wife has caught on and has started making you pies by the dozen. I do hope though that you've started working out though to, you know, offset the amount of pies that you're eating. I hope only good things are happening to you. Oh, big old mug of coffee. Hard to beat. Oh, did you hear that? That crack? That was my thumb. Darn thing. Feels like it's about to fall off. Not entirely sure why I drew the thumb like that. It's not how thumbs usually look. Excuse me, oh, sniffing the nose. Sniffing the old sniffer. Damn. I got like a bunch of little civilizations up in there, walking around. You need to move them out. I mean, it's cool now having, like, you know, this thing that blocks a bunch of debris and crap and like little invaders, you know, from getting into my lungs, into my body. It's nice and all, right? It's nice. However, the gunky residue that's left, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. You know. See what I mean? Excuse me. Any updates on the PB mix? PB? I'm assuming you mean the Horus ones. Why is it called? Why PB? I don't know what that's meant to stand for, but no further updates. Well, I mean, I think. Let me check actually. Last I checked, the cover was being done. So, I mean, like, you know, the cover talking about working on the cover and all, take that for what you will. If that sounds to you like, yes, things are getting pretty close to done. Me and him do not have, we don't really get to correspond as much as maybe we'd like, different time zones and all. I'll take that as an update. I mean, again, I can ask him. It's just I don't want to be like, I don't know how busy he usually is. Sometimes I just worry that maybe I'm pestering him, cause because it's like my side is done, you know. And I mean, he was asking me like if I wanted anything specific for the cover, and you know, like, could I have done something for the cover? I actually wanted to. But ultimately, it came down to the fact it's like I don't have the time. It's like I don't even have the time. Don't bug him on your behalf. I mean, I kind of want to know whenever it's out too, obviously. But I guess it's also, and I haven't said this to him, but like I do have a little bit of pressure because, I mean, we're both supposed to like be making money from this. Like there will be a price tag. It's not gonna be crazy, right? I don't think it's gonna be crazy. I think it's fair. But you know the difference, like depending, obviously I don't know how well it's gonna do. I don't know how much money it will make in the immediate or in the future. But obviously any amount of money is nicer than no amount of money at all. But it's like, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to get to is that the sooner it comes out, the sooner I'll know, and that can could basically decide whether or not like I take on like another commission or two in the immediate future, you know? Because I really try to just take on work that I like whenever I need to take it on. I try not to take on too much. That's another thing too, right? I like you talking about that got me thinking about it. Like, man, I wonder, would there be a lot more people interested in commissions after that comes out? And you know, I'm not saying like, oh, like 20 people, like fucking 30. I'm not talking about like that. I don't think it'll be that extreme. However, you know, even something like 5 or like 7 people all within a short time period being like, yes, commission please. I would prefer to have not like already have a bunch of work on and then like, oh, actually I can only take 2. I already have less time than I used to. As you know, if anybody, even the lurkers, may have noticed, there was no stream on Thursday or Friday. And the truth is I just do not have as much time as I used to. That's it. Somebody shoot evening, y'all. Keeps calling me diva. Hey, evening, y'all. How are you doing? How's my day? My day's not so bad. I mean, you know, it's still early. It's still early. Trying to get as much as I can done today. It'd be nice to get this fully lined. That would be sick. You'll run out of time to commission the work? Nah. Don't worry about that. I got a special reserved spot for you, Powerless. Don't worry. I ate some KFC and did my laundry. Very productive day. Very productive day. Damn. It's more than I've got done today. I haven't even eaten. So already you're ahead of me. I haven't even done my laundry either. Shit, I actually was supposed to do that. I forgot. Well, I mean, I did decide to do all my warming up off stream today. That's also why it's a bit later. Like you can see the warm up tab over here, or maybe you can't actually. I don't think you can see that on the stream. Can you? But anyway, as you can see, it's not there. Or I mean, it is open. I already did them. Just to kind of save on time, because I think whenever I'm doing my... It's kind of crazy, right? I think whenever I'm doing warm-ups... I mean, it's not that crazy. It makes sense now that I think about it. I take longer to warm up while streaming. But if I do it alone, no stream, I warm up way faster. And I think it's simply because usually whenever I'm warming up, I have a total lack of direction and like subject on what I want to warm up with. And I'm too preoccupied thinking, oh man, is this entertaining enough? Do people want to see me warm up doing this? Whereas if I just don't do the warm-ups on stream, that's not a problem. And then, you know, obviously you don't really slow me down whenever I'm working on a commission, because I already have a subject. I already know what I'm going to be working on. And obviously, this is work that I'm being paid to do, so I'm not really super concerned if it's not the most entertaining or interesting thing to watch me work on. Yeah, that don't really matter to me. Not in that case. I could retire next week. Not a chance. The retire would be from commissions, maybe. I think the only way that could happen is if I was like literally snatched up by somebody. If somebody came and was like, "You work for me now," and I went with them, willing or not. Ah! Like they come in like an actual eagle with talons and like grab me. Like they're huge, big enough to carry a person away. They grab me and their like talons sink into my head. Ah! That would be cool to watch, but like shit, a bird, a big ass bird, snatches a dude, takes him away, forced to draw for them. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. And even if it did, you know, I don't know. For the right price, I would maybe still take on a commission. Got some Magic Gathering cards signed over the weekend. Who signs them? Like the artists? Do you get the artists that did the artwork for it to sign them? It's cool. I always eat, no cap. No, it's just whenever I'm eating, I take a long time. But it's usually because I'm trying to work and eat. And then, you know, both end up taking longer. Whereas if I just if I just ended the stream, went and ate, I'd be back in no time. But I don't want to do that. We don't see the worm. The worm. The warm-up tab. Making fanfics about being kidnapped and employed by a big-ass bird is crazy, correct? It was not a fanfic. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if somebody made that. But hey, there are crazy people. I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure if you looked, fanfic of a big ass bird, like taking someone and holding them captive, and maybe making them like in indentured servitude. I think yeah, that exists. There'd be a couple of other like caveats and things, but that's probably real. That's cool. 15 for each signature. Of course there is. Isn't that the rule of the internet, that there's porn of everything? Oh, and most definitely Big Bird. You know, if there's stuff of Miss Piggy, there's stuff of Big Bird. I don't think of him kidnapping anybody. Big Bird is a guy, right? I'm pretty sure he is. It's just, I don't know. You know, whenever I think Big Bird, I think woman. I think it's the legs, because he's got thin legs. And I associate that more so with women having thin legs. Also, doesn't he have like huge eyelashes? It might be that too. Like, you know, like the typical signifiers of this is a female character. What do we do? Give them long lashes. Okay. That makes sense. Women typically have longer lashes than men. Not me though. I have relatively long, very full lashes for a man. Makes my eyes look way brighter. The whites of my eyes look way brighter as a result. So you can imagine my disappointment when I Google games for aliens and it comes up with games about aliens. Maybe he is a little fruity coated. I think so. I think his voice. There's something about his voice. I don't know if it's the nasaliness. Although then again, I might be remembering it wrong. It's been a very long time since I've seen any Sesame Street things with him in it. Why are you looking up? What do you expect? What do you expect? You look up games for aliens? No one's making games for aliens. Wouldn't aliens be making games for aliens? Really? I wonder why that... I mean, is that true? Do you know that, or have you just... Are you making an assumption? Have you, like, seen that they have different big birds? If so, I would actually be interested in why. Maybe a more popular animal or something? I actually don't even know what kind of bird Big Bird is. I mean, the Muppets aren't really modeled after particular animals. It's like, yeah, you know, Kermit, he's a frog, but no one's gonna be like, yeah, but like, what frog specifically? It's like a green one. Same with Miss Piggy. They do have different big birds. I don't know why though. That's somewhat interesting. Maybe I'll check that out at some point. Excuse me. Oh, look, a link. I'm gonna click on that. Whoa! Oh, shit. There's quite a few then. So they're all supposed to be his cousins. The blue one looks fucking sketch. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna check this out myself. Big Bird's cousins. This one. Holy shit. Come on, I wanna... There we go. Big image. I think this looks a bit AI edited, but I don't know. But, this is from the wiki. Look at this one! Ugh! That is scary! Where's this one from? Like, fuck. You got different ones. You got ones from Mexico. You got ones from Turkey. Ah, man, that shit's scary. I do want to know what country has this one now. Like, yeah. Also, right? I remember Big Bird had like the like a ring thing, you know, to emulate the legs. But this is just like tights. Like, look how, like these with these legs, you know, you couldn't get away. Also, I found out apparently this one's from Brazil. And that makes sense. Because I know that there's like a relatively well-known like blue bird from Brazil. Isn't there? Even still, that thing's horrifying. Like, holy shit. Somebody needs to redo that. And make it hot. Make it fucking hot. Yeah, talking about Big Bird's cousins. Are they all also guys? That'd be an interesting thing, you know. But nah, I guess. But why though? Wait, hold on. Are they all also called Big Bird, or are they treated as separate characters? Like over in Brazil, I'm sure that one's not called Big Bird. It's a shoebill bird? I'm not sure. No. It's not a shoebill bird. Also, hello, welcome to the chat. Or the stream. I mean, I don't think so. No. Where? But they're not from. They're not from South America, are they? Where are shoebill birds from? Africa. It'd be a bit strange. I don't know, maybe? We're not always talking about this kind of stuff, by the way. Usually I draw. But also, how are you? Well, welcome to my stream. We were just talking about Big Bird and his cousins. That's one of them. That's Scary Bird. That freak. That's crazy. I'm still thinking about it. It's not there anymore, but I can see it bright as day. Oh. Like, just imagine, you know, you're a little Brazilian person. I don't know why you're a little. You just happen to be a small Brazilian person. You're like, oh, I'm gonna check on some, or no, you're like, oh, well, I mean, your child. I guess that's why I said little. You're like, oh, I'm going to watch some TV, some LTV. They throw, and your parents throw it on for you, or you do it. Doesn't work. because you're from Brazil, and you know the whole likelihood is you're very poor. It's very unlikely you have a working TV. So you go to a bar instead, and your father manages to convince them to stick on Sesame Street for you. And they do. They stick it on just for you. And you see that fucking horrifying thing? Like, holy shit. Like, that was so scary that somebody comes in the chat and they're like, is that a shoebill bird? By the way, does anyone know? Has anyone else seen what a shoebill bird looks like? If you don't know, this is what a shoebill bird looks like. The other image is actually more scary. But no, I know that's like a, you know, I mean that photo, sure, does that make him look scary? Yeah, but you know, I mean, it's a bird, so they can look goofy too. Ah! Look at him. It looks like he's smiling. Ah! Oh my gosh. There's just, geez, there's a lot of pictures of them just eating animals whole. Jeez. But you know, imagine, like, you know, if you're making like a mascot or something, you don't want them to look like scary. That Brazilian one looks like it could be a character for like Five Nights at Freddy's. If you know, like an animatronic, you know what I mean? Like not, like, you know, it could be like a rip-off game, or not a rip-off game, but you know, like, oh, a game inspired. A very inspired game. And I think that would kind of work too, because I think there's something. How to explain it? There's something like so predatory about birds. You ever think about that? What do you mean, Simple Saint? Birds? Predatory? I mean, yes, there are birds that are predators. In fact, almost there's a great abundance of predatory birds. But what I mean is like to humans, there's something about birds, and you're like, this guy, he's talking like he's scared of birds. That's not what I'm talking about. Think about like Jurassic Park. You're like, dude, come on, those are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs can be scary, sure. Who are dinosaurs' closest relatives? Right? Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm like that shoebill bird there. That bird was a little bigger. That shit would if it was big enough where humans could be on the menu. But then again, you could argue that if anything is big enough where humans could be on the menu, then that innately makes it scary. That's fair. But I don't know, I think it's like to do with the shape. Maybe it's because their faces, maybe it's because of the beaks. Maybe it's because of like many of their faces are like pointy. It could just be that. I don't know, man. Birds are spy cameras for the government. I'm already scared of that. That's fair. That's also fair. What's scary is, why do they need so many? Also, right, birds all pretty much look identical. I mean, you know, like they look identical to another in their species is what I mean. Yeah, at least to like the untrained eye. But would you know if you've like seen the same bird twice in a day? Or how often you've seen it over the course of a week? Maybe if it frequented, you know, the same spots, right? But, you know, let's say, take like a crow or a pigeon. How would you know? How would you know if one was following you or like watching you and it's actively trying not to be obvious? You wouldn't know. You would sooner notice a person. You would sooner notice a person following you, but not a bird. You would notice a dog. You know, a fucking dog. Hey, I've seen that dog like fucking 5 times today. That's weird. In different places. I've been in all sorts of different places today, and I've seen that dog, but not a bird. You would not think that with a bird. Sparrows are the rats of the sky? I don't think we have sparrows here, or at least not in abundance. What's the deal with sparrows? Are they not a nice bird or something? Do they carry disease? Do they shit all over the place? I mean, birds already do that. I mean, hey. Comes to a stream of a guy drawing. He just starts talking about how, like, if a bird was stalking you, you wouldn't know. Hey, if you want to learn, you know, you came to the wrong place. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know if you want to learn anything, you know, I know some things. What I'm sure I know is very little. What I'm not sure I know about is quite a lot. But, you know, may not be super accurate. But hey, I can impart anything I have to help out. I'm not sure how useful it'll be. But I'll try. I'll try to help cripples like you. I'm not crippled of the mind. Oh. That needs to be flatter. I'll help you, just like how I was helped. Just like how people helped me. I'm trying to practice drawing, but I don't draw. Oof. shit. Listen, dude. I don't know how I can help you there. That's a pretty big problem. I'm not even sure I have the expertise to work that out. I'm trying to practice, but he doesn't do it. Fuck. What would I do? I don't know. I guess I draw or something, but he doesn't draw. No. Hold on, let me think this over again in my head. He's trying to draw, but he doesn't draw. Fuck. That's a real pickle. I'm gonna have to sit on that. I might have to sleep on that. Is there anything in particular? I'd start there, right? Well, hold on. If you're saying that you don't, right? And I'm assuming then you're just beginning. Don't aim too high. Don't be super ambitious. Boxes are your friend. It may sound silly, but if you can learn to draw a box, then you can learn to draw things that boxes are made out of, even things that are not boxes. That was a terrible box I just drew. It was fucking awful. But the point of a box is it's a 3D shape. You know, I'm not saying draw a square. But a square is this. It's a 2D shape. But you can understand this pretty well. But if you can draw a box, which is just 3 squares, or in this case 3 rectangles, and if you can do it well, right, then you're like, oh, that looks 3-dimensional. And okay, but what if I was looking at it from a different angle? Well, then let me draw it from a different angle, even if it's just slightly different. Oh, my hand is fighting me right now here. There we go. That's terrible. I need to brush up on my... You know what it is? It's because with this guy, I'm drawing so many curved lines. Right now I'm trying to draw straight. This sounds strange. I'm trying to draw straight lines, but I've been doing so many curved ones. My wrist keeps wanting to draw, because that's what I usually do for my curved lines. Whereas for my straight lines, I try to use my arm. What's happening is that like my hand is trying to do the line still. That I know that sounds so bizarre. Think of it as like muscle memory. But anyway, I don't know if we're still talking about birds, but crows absolutely have stalked people. This is true. They are very intelligent, and they do hold grudges. This is true. We know that crows can actually remember people's faces, and they can count. In fact, crows have even been seen to use some basic tool use and problem solving. So, also, here's another fucking thing. Did you know that crows, much like parrots, can replicate noises, like mimic sounds they hear? You just don't often hear it. But they can. Ravens can do it too. And you begin to realize, right, with this knowledge, hey, maybe crows are like everywhere all over the world because they're actually pretty fucking smart. It's not, you know, like that's the reason. Like they're generalists, but they're actually pretty smart too. And like they're the right size, where they can bully other birds. but they're not so big that loads of nutrition and energy is taken away from their brains. Isn't it corvids? That's what their group is. Is it a corvid? I've been drawing boxes, but how do I check them? You watched? Okay. How to check boxes? Well, if you're not even sure of your boxes, think of it as... Well, okay, first of all, are you drawing digitally or traditionally? So are you drawing with a pen and paper, or are you going all digital? Because there's a few different ways you can check depending on either. Paper and pencil. Okay. So one of the ways you can check. If I was to check, the easiest way would literally be to get a cube. Or get something that is cube or boxed shape and set it on a table, or set it like in front of you and be like, I'm going to try and draw this. And it could be anything, it could be a perfect cube and you could get that pretty easily. You can get a die, or you can get you have dice, right? Okay. Well then, I mean, it would be by eye, right? You would look at the dice and then you would look at what you've drawn. But if you want an even, like if that's not enough, right? What you could do, if you're working with pencil and paper, is you could, I'm assuming you have a phone. Not everybody does. But you could actually take a photo. You can take a photo, right? Of the dice, or the die. I mean, doing two at once would also be a good idea. Stacked on top of each other. Then what you could do is you can, all right, now try to draw them from the same angle that you're looking at them from, that you've taken the photo from. And then, when you're done, take that picture of on your phone, put it under the paper, and see how much it lines up. That makes sense. That's good. I'm glad that helps. That's how I would do it on pen and paper in a very simple way. But it's not about accuracy, it's about understanding. If you can create an object that looks like it exists in 3D space. Like, look, I haven't given that any details, right? It could just be a kind of broken up, not pentagon, hexagon. However, with just 3 lines, now it's a 3D shape. And it's not the finest looking thing, but it's all good. Oh, I missed that one. A crow once wait, what? It imitated a pig's squeal from a rooftop and scared the shit out of me. Then it laughed at me. I don't know if that's true. But I mean, if it is true, that's awesome. I mean, it sucks, it scared the shit out of you, but like, holy shit. But yeah, no, a lot of people don't know that. The crows can imitate noises they've heard. It'd be nuts if they have a sense of humor. I mean, they also have been spotted taking nuts, you know, like nuts with shells. I think it's walnuts. They will leave them on roads. So whenever a car drives by, it crushes the shell, and then they'll fly out and get the nut. Nobody showed them that. They learned that. And what's nuts, right, is that crows across like multiple countries know how to do that. But yeah, if there's any, I don't know, if there's any more. I mean, I'm glad that you said that helps, because if you were like, I still don't understand, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know what other way I could describe this. No, I'd probably come up with something, but yeah, no, sure. You know, if anyone has any queries, I can try and help out. I'll try my best. I'm trying not to fill up. I keep doing this. It's a serious problem of mine, where this thing's supposed to be very streamlined. It's not supposed to have a shitload of detail. It's supposed to look like pretty elegant too. And you know, if you start throwing, like, if something is supposed to be smooth looking, then you can't really throw a shitload of detail onto it. At least line detail, like maybe colors, you could go nuts. But the more details you add, then the more texture you give it, and the more texture you give something, well, then the less smooth it is. And I have this real issue where I am constantly adding lines. I don't like leaving large spots with just nothing on them. And it's because I'm so line minded. I'm not sure that's the right word, or I was gonna say focused, but I'm not sure that's really it either. But I think about lines. I think about lines everywhere. Lines. That's how I see things. And it can be a real pain in the ass. Because then I start adding shit that later on I'm like, that fucking sucks. Get rid of that, you idiot. You stupid bastard. And then, you know, I pull up my sleeve and I cut another line in. You ever seen Doom? You ever seen the movie Doom? The one with The Rock? I fucking love that one. There's a guy in it. There's a character. I think he's called Bishop. I think it's Bishop. But he's a holy man. And he curses, and he's like, oh, I cursed. Then he rolls up his sleeve and he starts cutting across into his skin. So he's like, oh, I sinned, and this is my penance. And you see he's got them like the whole way up his arm. And I don't know, I was just thinking, dude, you've got so many. It's like, you'd think after the first few, right, you'd learn to not do that. Like, you know, I don't know. I think after, you know, you just cut across into yourself. By the 7th time, maybe, just maybe, you're not gonna do it that much anymore. Maybe not at all. And he's got like fucking 30 plus. I don't know. Maybe it's other things. Maybe it's like what was the other thing? There's like obviously a less extreme version that I've seen people really do, which is the rubber band on the wrist thing. Anybody seen that? If you're not familiar, it's like if you're trying, like, oh, I'm trying not to do something. Maybe it is swearing. and you pull a rubber band that's around your wrist, you pull it back and you let it snap. Obviously the point is to hurt, but it's so then that you associate the pain. It's like a negative, what's the right word? Negative reinforcement. You do it right away so that you associate that, cursing in this case, with the pain. And if you're like, oh, it doesn't work though, well then maybe that rubber band is not thick enough. Maybe you're not hurting yourself hard enough. Jokes though, I don't know. I don't know how well that really works. It seems to be more common in, I've seen it more common in like Asian cultures. And that makes sense to me. When you look at like how they like their social punishments for failure. Like in more Western cultures, I don't even like saying Western cultures because it doesn't matter, but in more Western cultures, it's much more common that you just get shamed, right? Like shame works pretty well. I fucked up. Prepare to be shamed. That seems to be pretty effective. Whereas in other ones, like, let's take, I think Japan? No, China. Whereas in China, you can have like your boss hit you if you fail to do something. Like you have like a quota or something to meet. We didn't meet the quota, boss. I feel so terrible for not meeting the quota that you should hit me. And there's like videos of it too. So it's not even like, oh, like I'm not even talking like, oh, like your parents hitting you. No. I mean like people who have positions of authority, even like your boss in this case. It's okay to smack you around. And then like in Japan, for example, like I know it's not the same, but the bowing, not bowing. What do you call it? Is it bowing whenever you get down and like you totally fold? Like no. Whenever you get down on your knees and like you totally fold over. It's like whenever you fold over completely. Whatever that's called. Like, oh, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. Gets down and like completely bows in front of the person. I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool way. Not cool. You know, I've never seen anybody who was like, I'm so sorry, get down on like their hands and knees and like lower their head. Like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. I've never seen anybody do that. And I don't know, you know, there's a phrase like words are cheap. And I don't know, I think about that now in this context. I'm like, words are cheap. If you were really sorry, you would be bowing. Anytime somebody apologizes to me. Although, right, I think about it. I'm not sure how well that would work in the kind of culture I live in. Because there's a lot of people here, if they fuck up, they won't even apologize. They won't even actually mention the thing that they fucked up about. They might just pretend it didn't happen. I don't know, Simple Saint. It sounds like you're being very specific here. Is this like a personal thing? No, it's very common. I've met multiple people that do it. And then I found out that actually it was a more common thing with older folks. And obviously that trickles down, you know? If you never see your parents talking about something and apologizing, I mean, if that's just something they don't do, then how do you learn how to do it? You don't. I don't know. I think if I really fucked up, I would get down in front of somebody. And you may say, but I don't know, dude. Isn't that kind of demeaning? I'm like, well, not demeaning. That's not the right word. Like like, I think that's the point though. Like, if you're like you're physically doing something that's a bit humiliating, if you get me. I think it's in China as well, even crawling around on all fours. This is shit I've seen. I could be totally wrong, right? It could all be lies. I don't super trust most of the stuff I've seen. I go off of like, okay, how many times have I seen this in different places at different times? And Chinese men, sometimes in suits, but they're always like in shirts, at least. On all fours crawling around. And like the text is always saying something like sometimes men will do this if they've failed at work. If they're supposed to do something or they did a bad job or they didn't meet something, this is a practice to show like how much you're sorry, which is to do something that is kind of humiliating. And to be honest, right, isn't being sorry and like telling someone you're sorry, isn't that kind of, couldn't you see how that could be in a way that's kind of humiliating? Because you were wrong, right? You were wrong. Like you're like you know, I'm saying I was wrong to do that. On some level, there's some humiliation there. Now, true, it is very, what's the word? Humble, you know, like, okay, you know, I'm not right, I was wrong. Anyway, I've totally lost my train of thought. Sometimes that happens, just sometimes I don't know, I get something, and then I go with it, and then it hits like a brick wall, and then it's gone. I'm sorry, I'm heading into work, grovels. Make sure you do a good job, and you know, if you fuck up, you know what to do in front of your boss. Oh, boss, I'm so sorry. You get down on your hands and knees, you start crawling around. Absolutely not. Beg for forgiveness. Well, see, begging for forgiveness is like kind of humiliating, isn't it? Especially depending on how you're begging. There's a lot of different ways to do that. This is looking okay so far. I gotta work out these legs. These long legs. Goodness. Oh. Oh, I just cracked my back. Fuck, I should not have done that. Oh. Never mind, it's all better now. It's my healing factor. Maybe it was gnomes. Maybe a bunch of gnomes went back there and combined into positions that they needed to massage it. Also, to anybody new, yes, I am first of all, I'm from Ireland. I am actually from Ireland. I am Irish, and this is like a made-up land. It's like there's sugar plum fairies here. There's gnomes. It's all very real. The banshee's real too. You know, don't touch the fairy circles, guys. But yeah, no, I have some gnomes. I have some gnomes here in my house. I keep them around because sometimes they're useful. Sometimes they get things done. You know, little things. Clean up dust. Although, like that being said, they like leave little footprints all over the place. Which is okay because like, they're kind of just circles. They don't have like toes. They just have like these stumps. So you just, you know, you just see like this. But they walk around a lot, so eventually they'll go over their own footsteps and clear it up for you. Like snow, if you imagine snow, but it's dust. Maybe I should just get a maid. Granted though, the gnomes don't cost anything to keep. Like, you don't really have to feed them. They feed themselves. Although, recently they've started giving me attitude. They swell up with spores. Like a balloon. They spray it all at me. Sometimes when they're annoyed. It's alright, you know, I mean, it's okay as long as, you know, your mouth's not open. Getting hit by that is like, it's like smoking an entire pack of cigarettes at once in an instant. Hold on, I'm getting some terrible feedback in my microphone. Give me one moment to check it. There we go. I don't know if you guys were getting that like static. I certainly was. And I just can't take the risk. It's back. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't get back. I mean, fuck. Nothing worse than a shitload of unnecessary static just bursting through. Well, I mean, there could be other things worse. You could get punched in the mouth. you're just sitting with your your headphones on. You just get punched in the mouth. Man, how many mechs do I have to draw until I can say I'm an expert? Or a professional? It's gotta be... I don't know, I think it's gotta be like high double digits. Well, then again, here's the thing, right? Maybe quantity doesn't matter. It's quality. That being said, though, somebody can't just like make like that. You can't like it wouldn't make sense if you can make one thing really, really well and then say, "Oh, I'm an expert," or "I'm a professional." That doesn't sit right either. And I did say, "Thank you, Onion." Maybe it's gotta be a combination. Maybe it's gotta be like a certain number of high quality things consecutively. I need to make this more bulbous. It looks this line's too straight. You need to gay it up. There we go. I can feel the coffee wearing off. I think in many crafts, like art, quantity, speed, quality are just two sides of the same expertise. And whatever is your approach, the other will get better as well. This is true. What's the expression? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You know, if you're the better, like if you do something slowly, gradually you'll get better at it. And you will learn things and like cutting down time. You know, just you won't be making as many mistakes, or you'll be learning about what's a more efficient way to do something. And eventually then you'll be fast at it. So I suppose that's, you know, it's got a good bit of merit there. Damn it, I'm just thinking about how hungry I am. Maybe my gnomes will make something for me. I don't know though. I can't trust them with sharp objects. So it's not gonna be anything crazy, you know. How's this looking? How's this looking without the blue? Oh, it's the wrong one. Fucking, there we go. Not bad. Okay. Can you tell I'm trying not to draw the hands yet? Hands, man, they're tough. That is not too bad. Fuck. Yeah, and it has like 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I wouldn't even know what to put in to get the exact hand shape I'm looking for. Like that's the, like I would probably have to do some shit where I have to like use a 3D model. That's it. I would have to like do an image to image. But at that point, right, if I have a 3D model and I shape it to do the hand that I'm looking for, then why not just use that? Digital isn't real art anyway. think there's some credence to that. Truth. Not credence, truth. It's not to say that like, there's no good-looking digital work. But can any of it be art? I don't know. I would have to hear a very I have yet to hear a very compelling argument. Because here's the thing, I think very few things are art. I don't even call myself an artist. I don't like how that term has been devalued. Because I don't make art. I haven't made any art. What does the word art even mean? If there are people that could basically scribble something, they could doodle, and they're like, "Oh, this is art." No. No. Why? Why is it art? And then the people will be like, "Oh, well, it's a form of like expression." That's what art is. It's a form of expression put into a medium. Well, then the problem there is that then, okay, anything is art. So art has no meaning. Like that's the problem with that approach. Not that approach, that definition. It's better. But you see, here's the thing, right? I don't go off of what's considered high art galleries. That shit is like for midwits. That shit is for midwits and people like basically dummies, and also for people to launder money. And also about things that have perceived value. But nothing to say about what their actual value is. I'm totally against this. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder shit. No, it's not. No. There are beautiful things and there are things that are not beautiful. The same way that we know that there are ugly things and we know that there are beautiful things because we know that there are ugly things. Like that is almost reason enough. And if that's not enough reason for you, I've got other shit I could throw at you. But it's not just that, right? I think art. Okay, art isn't just something that's beautiful. I think something that's actually art captures way more than that. I don't think something that is just solely beautiful can be art. It's gotta have at least a little bit of ugliness in it. And that can manifest in a number of ways. Somebody once said it, and ever since they said it, I was like, damn, it's true. The cathedrals might be the highest form of art that we've ever made. Because of many reasons. And hell, it might even be just buildings in general, but cathedrals. These massive things that, first of all, right? They have art all over them. They've got statues, they've got paintings, stained glass. There are all sorts of mediums, woodwork, stonework. designing the utility, designing it all so it doesn't just fucking crumble on itself. It's used. It's a building. You use it. It has a function. It has a purpose. It's built by many people. What else? Paintings, painting it, the color, metalwork. It just almost every type of craft that you would associate with what is stuff that's considered art, right? Is there. And all of it is insanely good. This would have been done by people who would have donated their entire lives to their craft. Like, yes, it's my father was a carpenter and I am a carpenter type shit. And it's all in one thing, right? Not in the same way of like an art gallery or a museum. But yeah, no, they might be the highest form. I've yet to see anybody. I've yet to come across anything that would make me think otherwise. But I think, yeah, cathedrals are the highest form of art that we as humans have ever made. And you could say, like, about other places, about other buildings. Sure, right? But I'm talking about cathedrals because like, there's so many. You know, you can't, like, I'm not just talking about, like, big buildings with lots of cool stuff in them. Like, you know, because couldn't somebody just point to, like, oh, what about the Roman Colosseum? Colosseum, or the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Like, you know, I'm not talking about it in that way, where it's like, oh, just big buildings. Like, no. I'm talking things that are unique to cathedrals. What is it, the 13th chapel even? Right? Sure, I would call that art. I would have called the Notre Dame art before it was art before it fucking burned down. By the way, I'm not convinced at all that was just like accidental. I think like that was burned down by somebody, and like it was covered up. They're like, think about it, right? There's no way a building like that survives for so long, is so well taken care of, and people are so careful that it just burns down. No. I just love how people don't believe cathedrals were built without power tools. That's the other thing. Yeah, these things were built over like the course of, like, your grandfather could have been a boy whenever they started working on the cathedral, and you could have been a man by the time they were done. So your father, so your grandfather, your father, and you could have all had a hand in making this thing. Because that's another thing that a lot of people don't know or don't realize, is that cathedrals and many other buildings like them were made by the people that lived around them. The people that lived around them would have had a huge hand in building them. What, do you think they just had access to all that labor and they just didn't do it? They didn't use any of it? No, absolutely not. All of those people that lived around there would have had a hand in doing it and in building it in some way. Even if it was just to do some heavy lifting, even if they were doing the fine craft work. And then the fact that they were maintained for, like, they were built so well, but then they were maintained for so long. They're still here. That's another thing. Many of them are still here. And there was a few things that kind of nearly reached that level or do reach that level. But they're old. They're all old buildings. We don't make them anymore. I don't think we really make, because I think in the West, at least in Europe, and then toward, you know, the America, Canada, or North America, I really should say, I don't think many people really care about that anymore. And like, the reason being is a lot of these things were made for purely conceptual, or not just purely conceptual, but a lot of conceptual reasons. Or they were trying to send a message or say something. Like, we built, what was it? The U.S. built the Chrysler Building. They built that for a reason. They didn't build that because, like, they needed to fill it with offices. That was not why they built the Chrysler Building. That's not why they built the Empire State Building. If you look at the outside of those buildings, if you look at the inside of them, they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. They did not need to be beautiful. They were not purely utilitarian. They made them beautiful on purpose. I don't think we do that anymore. I don't really know. I don't really know of many buildings where they're like, let's make this beautiful. Let's make this building gorgeous, but also to say something. Cathedrals were like, or listen to God, right? Chrysler Building, Empire State Building. We're fucking awesome. Our country's powerful. Let's show the other nations of the world how incredible our craftsmanship is, our labor force. Let's make these incredible things and make them look gorgeous and beautiful, and last. I can't remember the last time my country did anything like that. Maybe it was the Titanic. That didn't last long. Okay. I'm going to go and grab a quick snack. Because I'm just too hungry now. I'm getting too hungry to focus. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'll bring it back. You getting snacks too? What'd you want? What would you like? I mean, I could give you a bite, but I don't know if you'd like it. Oh, I forgot about the boxes. Oh, sandwich? What's in the sandwich? Sorry, I'm just stuffing my face. It's good, like, this is, you know, if I had a face cam, you'd see that, but it's good I don't, because then you would see I'm stuffing my face. Ooh, cream cheese and ham. It's a good combination. I'm no snack onion. Nobody would want to take a bite out of me. Why do you need to take antibiotics? Like, I know what they're for, but, like, I mean, what happened? What's the reason? What do you got? What ails you? Bronchitis. Rough. I'm trying to remember if I've ever had that. I think I might have had it once. I don't know. I don't really have the best memory whenever I'm sick. I only remember whenever it was really, really bad. But I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. Being sick sucks. think that music's over now. It is, yeah. Let's change it up. Whoa! To Unreal music. Unreal Tournament. Oh man. What? What? All right. Video game soundtrack suggestions. No lyrics. Instrumentals only. Backing vocals are okay. What's the best? Roll cage. Yeah, I've heard of yes, I've heard of Armored Core 6. I've heard of that game. Let's give this a listen. This is Roll Cage. Also, if you didn't realize I was gonna stick them on. Hold on. This is by Fatboy Slim. It has to be. I should have preferenced and said it has to be unique to the game. It can't just be a bunch of music that they licensed or was licensed, right? It can't be that. It has to be this music was made for the game. Project Wingman? Let's give that. Wait, which one? Isn't there a few Wingman games? Isn't there a couple projects? My mouse is acting funny. I don't think I've listened to anything from Nier Automata. Is that how you say it? Automata? Or is it Automata? Or maybe it doesn't matter. me see, how much have I got done this stream? Oh, so like not real words? I don't know, maybe that counts, I don't know. Project Wingman is its own thing in the genre, yet again. Oh man, Ultra Kill? Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think Ultra Kill has a bad song. If there is, it doesn't come to mind. As for Hollow Knight, I wouldn't know. I haven't really seen anything from it. Excuse me. Well, you know what? I might take a bit longer with this lunch. Because, it's breakfast. But it's pretty much a lunch for me. I waited far too long to eat. So, I might have to have something bigger. Metal Gear Solid 2 has some rad songs. I'll have to check those out. I'm just thinking about what music to throw on for next stream. Because pretty much everything I throw on I've already listened to. In the sense, it's like, oh, well, at least I know it's good. But I kind of want to listen to something new. So, I think for next stream, I'll take a few of these suggestions and throw them on. But I know it's a bit shorter today, but I'm going to end it here. Because I do have some other things I need to do today. I did do a bunch of warming up before this, so this 2 hours was really just on this. So that's not so bad. I'll still have some more work to do today, but it'll be later. And I don't think I'll stream it. And again, I gotta have a bigger meal here. This is not gonna be enough, and you guys will be waiting around for who knows how long. I was up at 5 o'clock today. It is now 20 past 1, and I'm only eating. And it's like just a bowl of porridge. So I'm sure you understand. I can't do much without fuel. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. But don't worry, don't cry. Why am I up so early? For a few reasons. One, I like working at night, but I actually have no energy. I like working when it's dark. I don't know why. I don't know the exact reason. I could try and figure it out. But I just know that I do. I have more energy in the morning than I do in the midday and evening. Also, it's because it's getting hotter here. I cannot work in the heat. Wasn't really built for it. However, early in the morning, it's colder. So that's kind of the best. All of these things sort of line up. It's best for me to work at that time. Me too, but I like sleeping. I like sleeping too, but what can you do? But I'll probably be up ridiculously early tomorrow. And that's what I'm kind of looking at. I have more time to work tomorrow. So the sooner I go to bed today, the sooner I can get up tomorrow, the more time I can make for work. But I've got a good amount of stuff blocked out here, and even some permanent details. What time to go to bed? Well, I gotta go to like 8. You know, I gotta go to like bed at 8 if I want to make sure I'm getting all of my sleep. Okay. But alright. I'm calling it there. Thank you. And also, thanks for joining my stream and following me, maybe. I'd like to see you next time. Chat more. And you can watch me draw. And talk about weird, insane shit. Alright. See ya.